is how we set up play provocations, or some of the processes we go through. It might be different on any given day for a variety of reasons, but this is basically how it goes. So I'm thinking about how to set up for the day. I'm thinking about what were the children's interests, maybe things we discussed on the previous day, maybe during meeting time. Maybe it's something I overheard while I was, watching them from a little distance. I'm trying to let them feel like they're independent. Maybe it's an exploration that somebody brought from home. Oh, we've been doing this at home. We want to figure out how to maybe explore that at class. So I'm thinking about what we're hearing and seeing. Then I choose the materials and the location. Where am I going to set everything up? I'm always thinking, and this is the most important lesson that Viviana and I have both learned in the last couple of years, is make sure I'm not overdoing it. We used to set up the most beautiful, complicated, truly picture-perfect setups, and nobody would go there. We'd be like, nobody's like, why is nobody coming? Well, she and I will have had a great time setting it up, and we got all our needs met, our organization, our lining things up, making it symmetrical, whatever, but there was nothing left to do. So we realized that we were having the fun. The children weren't able to create their own, and it was probably actually intimidating to try to mess that up.
It was an invitation to mess it up.
Yeah, that would be the only thing they would want to do with it.
Now let me recreate what I want to explore.
Tell you about your idea.
And another thing that I would like to add to that is that this is like Nicole and I have reflected on this for many years already, and we realized, okay, we are doing what they're supposed to be doing. So we back up in the setup and we started placing it in different ways. But like it's happening in our staff too, in our school. Like the teachers are listening and they're observing and they're into astronauts. And then the next day the kids show up and then they have a whole space build up and they have a spaceship and they have spacesuits and they have helmets and they have everything because the teachers are like, oh, I was listening, and they say they like astronauts, so they want to learn. So I'm gonna create a whole spaceship for them. And you're like, wait, is that what the kids wanted to do? Is that what you thought the space play was gonna be? Like maybe if you were paying attention, maybe the kids were astronauts, but they were, I don't know, they wanted to understand how rovers play or how to make it work in space. How does your hair look in space? It just comes up in like so many different ways that sometimes we need to like slow down and really listen and just let them come up with like, what do you want to learn about space? What materials would you like to bring? Not creating the whole scenario for them where they just go see it and they're like, it's all done and move on. So then give them the chance to really tell you what are their interests. Why is it astronauts like so fun? What do you want to learn about that? Or what is it about space? Sometimes it's planets, sometimes it's just the moon, sometimes it's the rockets. It's so many different things that when we mean like stop, reflect, listen, observe, we really mean like ask them like and see, figure out what it is. Don't set it all up for them.
Don't
you don't
assume
know.
that we know.
Yeah. So that's gonna let them know that
to follow up on that, we might ask them, what materials do you want? Do you want some books? We try to ask them, maybe they have an idea of what they might need to get started. Yeah. And then it's a little more doable for them. And maybe that material then takes them a little further along their exploration. But they didn't just walk into an environment.
Yeah, we usually bring it and talk about it in meetings. It's like, I heard that so-and-so were talking about this and they were playing that, and then the ideas start coming out. And then if you have the resources, you can record the conversation so you can hear it later, or you can have a co-teacher that can take notes. But like invite them into their exploration so then you can really understand what they're trying to do.
Always be aware that the provocation should spark curiosity, which we just sort of gave an example of. Invite exploration and leave room for the children to go further with their ideas. When you're setting up, there might be an intention about what their interests are showing you, which we also just discussed. And maybe they're telling you that it's telling stories at the writing center or meeting time, and you want to create more opportunities. How can you create opportunities rather than final products? If they were telling me about story time, my first instinct would be, oh, maybe they want to write a book. Oh, great, I'm going to put up all the book. But nobody ever mentioned making a book. That was my idea. We're just instead saying, asking them, what do you want to do? You want to tell us, do you want to, how do you want to do more? Or maybe we just listen for a while until we get an idea. So we try to think about what is it that they want to do with it, not what is the final product they could create with this idea.
Yeah, and that's always, I think, the hardest thing, because for us teachers, we want to like kind of show that they're doing something, and then we want to show the parents that we're paying attention. So it's about just slowing down and letting them guide you to what they want to do, and you just provide the materials and the space for them to explore those ideas. And hopefully you'll get to see it in the reflection on that and like the way we set up over here. But I think it's gonna be, you're gonna have time to go and explore it. You got to see it in our classroom. This is a site that this is the first time we've been here. So this morning we walked it yesterday. They were still in full construction. And this morning we show up and we set up as good as possible. So hopefully you get to explore and find some inspiration and bring it to your classroom and see what we're trying to.
And we're available for questions if you have.
Yeah, we'll walk with you guys so we can answer any questions, but I think it's gonna be time for you guys to explore and see what we're talking about.